One of the most useful camera angles for tech reviewers is the overhead shot. This allows us to show off the product as if you were looking directly down at it. It's also a very useful angle for showing off something like a drawing pad or how to install something like a watch band. This angle can be used for many different types of things, and it is one of my favorite shots. The only issue is that it's hard to get the right equipment in order to do this properly. A long time ago, I built a simple rig out of PVC pipe. This didn't really work out and the legs always got in the shot. Then I moved on to this really cool tripod from Manfrotto. It allows you to telescope out the center column and tilt it for an overhead shot. This works really well and is something that I've been using for several years. The downside is that it takes a while to set up, it's not the most stable, and it can't hold heavy cameras. That's how we got here, a giant metal rig hanging down from my ceiling. But don't worry, this whole thing cost me only $30 and a few hours of my time. So let's show you how to make it. What we're using here is black pipe. This is typically meant for natural gas and liquid propane, but will work very well for our purposes. The thing that's really great about this is that all the pieces are threaded. That means no gluing necessary. For this, we'll need a few things. First off, we need to pick a pipe. I'm going to attach my camera with this Impact Super Clamp, which can hold onto pipes a minimum thickness of 1/2 inch. I didn't want to clamp onto the absolute minimum, so I went with 3/4 inch thick pipe. I picked a length of 4 feet. This will allow me to mount this to the 2 studs in the ceiling, which happen to be 4 feet apart. On top of the pipe, we'll also need 2 flanges to mount to the ceiling, 2 right angle elbows, and 2 little pieces of pipe. This will allow it to sit a little further away from the ceiling and have enough room for the clamp. As for hardware, we'll need 8 wood screws and 4 wall anchors. Due to the spacing on the flange, only 2 of the 4 screws on each side will be able to mount to the studs. The other 2 will need to go into the anchors. Planning out everything was pretty simple. I found it easier to put everything together and then just hold it up to the ceiling. It was just a matter of marking the holes and screwing everything in. The great thing about this is that it's super sturdy. I'm not planning on hanging a big camera off of this, but I will have quite a few things on there. For my studio, this works great to not only hold the overhead camera, but also the microphone and the audio recorder. To mount everything up, I'm using an Impact Super Clamp along with a Manfrotto Magic Arm. These two together will hold up everything I can throw at it. The clamp holds on super strong and the arm is also very sturdy. I'll be sure to leave a link to these if you want to check out what I got. It is somewhat of a commitment to permanently install this, but for me, I think it's totally worth it. My studio has been here for a while, and in fact, it allows me to minimize the amount of space I take up. Typically, the studio is too cramped to use my overhead tripod, but now I can use it all in one place. This will make my work a lot faster and easier, while also having a better end result. If you want to see more of how video looks coming from this rig, be sure to get subscribed as I'll be using it a lot in our upcoming videos where we fix up some broken MacBooks. But other than that, that's all I have to tell you. It's super simple and easy, and it works surprisingly well. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And don't forget to get subscribed so you can check out future videos where we use this overhead rig. Anyway, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.